Hello everyone. So today's puzzle was not that hard. Still, a very few, around 22 people tried among more than 200. I really appreciate those who tried. Even if you solve it partially, please do submit solution so we can help you in that. Okay. So anyway, so let me give it a try for today's puzzle. So this sequence calculation is common from previous example. So let's try this. So if you read this puzzle carefully, so we are supposed to calculate the number which is having max sequence, uh, longest sequence of uh, I mean this sequence goes on till it reaches to the one. Okay, but the formula is if the number is even, so we are gonna divide that by two. If it is odd, we are gonna simply use this formula. So this part is pretty simple. Okay, so uh, we are gonna just find the max length and the number. Okay, so to do that, let me have one variable max length is equals to 0 and the number which will be having that max length. Okay, so let's have either for loop, while loop, whatever you prefer. I will have for loop here. So this range function will iterate from 0 to 9999. Uh, you can pass two parameters. Now it will iterate from 2 to 9999. So we are gonna have one function as well, which will be calculating the sequence and will return us the sequence length. Okay, for each number. So now we will be having that function. So I will call it in Python. The function starts with the keyword def and then it followed by the name of it. So I will name it as calculate sequence. Okay, we'll pass the variable that is n in this case, and we will have one variable named counter which will be counting the sequence length. Now uh, and at the end we will return that counter value. Here you are not you don't require to mention the return type and the data type of the variable, that so Python automatically figures it out, so you need to least bother about it. We will be calling that function, and for each value of I, and we are not sure which particular value is going to give us the longest sequence. So we are yet to write the logic of calculating the sequence, but just assuming it will return the counter. Okay, and or instead of calling it as counter, so we will be, let's call it as sequence length. Okay, that is more appropriate name for it. Okay, so it is not compulsory to use the same variable name here, so but still I'm using it. You can use some another name over here. So we will be receiving that sequence length and we will compare that with the max length, which is currently set to 0. The max length will be keep on updating depending on the value of sequence length. So if sequence length value is greater than max length, then we will be replacing the value of max length to sequence length. Plus, we will be noting down that for which number the sequence was max. So that number is will be also noted down. And at the end of this for loop, so we have tested it for all the values below 10,000. So we will be printing out our result, that is number, and along with length. Okay, so now we still haven't uh, wrote the logic of calculating sequence. Now this is very simple. So let's assume the value of uh, so before doing everything, so let's calculate the sequence for a single value. Okay, so I will be calling calculate sequence for the value mentioned in the example, that is 13. And here let's write the logic first. So while, so when we are supposed to stop here, we are supposed to stop when the sequence reaches to the 1 and they're sure that it is gonna reach to that value. Okay, so we are gonna mention while n is not equals to 1. So until that point we are gonna compute the value of n to with this formula, and until it reaches to n we are gonna compute that. Plus we will be incrementing the sequence length as per this. Okay, so the condition is if n is mod n is sorry even value, so we can calculate that with this. If n mod 2, that is n, this is gonna give us the reminder. If it is 0, then of course that value is even. So this is the simple formula. You can shorten it up, but that's fine, I guess. Otherwise, we will be having the another formula, 3 into n plus 1. Okay. Need to have so many spaces here, but that's fine. Okay, now so this is gonna keep on iterating till it reaches to 1, and we will be incrementing the sequence length each time. Okay, so in Python there are no curly brackets, so we are having tabs for that. So this is the block inside the while loop, and this is the block of if, this is for else. Anyway, so it is going to return that sequence. Meanwhile, as we are going to calculate it for 13, so what I'm going to do, I will be just keep on printing that value. Okay, so I think yeah, print it. Okay, so till it reaches to 1, so it will keep on doing that. Okay, so let me run that. Okay, so you can see that it is computing, but there is one issue that it is having converting it to the some float value. So I will be converting it to the integer. But if you check the sequence 13, 40, 10, 5, there's something wrong here. Okay, so 13, 40, just a second. Where did I miss it? 13, 40, 20, 10, 5, 16, 8, 2, 8, 4, 2. Yeah. Is there anything wrong here? If it is even, yeah, that should be a 20. What happened here? I think I should convert it to the integer. Okay. Yeah, it is working now. Fine. Okay, so now this is working fine. Right now I'm not sure why that didn't work earlier. Okay, now we are sure that whatever we implemented here is correct. Now let's have it. Okay, okay, I don't want to keep on printing that, so I will keep move to for print statement. Okay, so yeah, this is correct answer, and those who solved it, they do know that. Okay, so this was my try to solve this puzzle. I hope you understood the logic behind this. This is not that hard. Uh, the only thing is you just need to sit down and try it. That's it. Okay. So if you don't know, okay, how to use the while loop, you can use any language, whatever you prefer. And the assumption is you need to know at least a single programming language. So it is just a matter of sitting down and just, if you don't know how to convert, suppose from float to integer, just go Google it. You will get it easily. If you don't know how to find the whether the number is even or odd, so you can still search that. That is so simple, right? So it is all about patience, I believe. So please try that. Okay, I will be recording few more videos just to show you the basic things. So maybe if I will solve very easy puzzles uh, randomly. Okay, so I hope that will be helpful. Thank you so much.